Hey guys, and welcome back. Dana here from DNA Wellness, your number one place for all things health and wellness, starting with your hair. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about natural ways to dye your hair. So if that's what you're interested in, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to give you, first of all, why you want to go natural way to coloring your hair, and then simple, easy ways that you can do it. A lot of those things might just be laying around your house already. If you are not already, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications every single time new videos come out. New videos come out every single Wednesday. I would love to see you here. So why is this important? 65% of all women actually alter the color of their hair. So this is something that's going to affect quite a few people. But most of our mainstream hair dyes on the market, according to the Cancer Society, 5,000 different chemicals in these hair dyes. That's crazy, right? And many of these ingredients that are found in a lot of these hair dyes are linked to skin irritation, they're linked to respiratory issues, they're linked to endocrine disruption, as well as cancer. So even though we might think maybe this is just a small little thing that we're doing, over time, prolonging and using some of these toxic chemicals, especially the ones we don't even know what the effects might be, could really lead to some hazardous circumstances. So we want to be very, very careful and know exactly what is in the products. So the number one ingredient to avoid that I want to talk about is cortinium 15. So this actually is a formaldehyde that can be found in a lot of hair dyes. Over time, too much exposure of this could cause a lot of respiratory irritation, as well as be linked to the big C. Number two ingredient I want to talk about is APEs. So this is a known endocrine disruptor. So what does that mean? This particular ingredient is going to affect the hormone levels of a woman. So if you're using this on a regular basis, you can find long-term having a lot of issues when it comes to that endocrine system. The third ingredient I want to talk about is PVDS. So PVDS actually in the European Union is classified not only dangerous for humans, but also dangerous for our environment. So they have completely banned this from all products in their country. So I would say if they're banning it, do you really want it in your hair? This also has been linked directly to skin irritations. It has been directly linked to respiratory issues, as well as, again, hormonal disruption. So when you think about all three of those ingredients, because of the harm that they could be doing to your body, it's more advantageous just to be a little bit more cautious and a little bit more careful. Unfortunately, a lot of people that are in direct use of this on a daily basis have an even higher risk of a lot of these issues. So that could be your hairstylist or people that work in salons and spas around a lot of this chemical exposure. So one thing I want to be absolutely clear about and want you to understand, a lot of these tips that we're going to talk about, natural hair colors, you want to make sure that you experiment a little bit because it's not going to be as clear cut as your traditional hair dyes. So, simply with a traditional hair dye, you might say, well, I'm going to put 1 or 2 drops of this and 1 or 2 drops of that. This is the color I'm going to get, right? Well, because everybody's natural hair color is just a little bit different, and because we're talking natural solutions, your results might not always be exactly what you want. But the beauty of this is a lot of them are more semi-permanent. Some are going to be stains are permanent, but because of that, you're going to have a little more leeway, but you're going to have to be a little bit more forgiving, and you might have to try a few things and a few times before you find exactly the color or the rhythm that works for your hair type and your hair picks it up. So now let's get into 6 different natural ways to color your hair, starting with number 1, coffee and tea. That's right. Coffee and tea can be an excellent colorant for the hair. All you have to do is simply steep or brew your coffee just like you normally would and do a nice rinse with it. Most of the time, if you're going to use a tea, you can use like either a black tea, or it might be a tea that has a base with a bit of a color. So it might be something like a hibiscus or something that has a little red hue to it. Depending on what your natural hair color is, maybe you're trying to cover up some grays, or maybe you're trying to cover up some blondes, your hair would pick this up very well, and it would take on a little bit of that tint from either the coffee or the tea. Number 2 is beets and carrots. So we love our veggies, right? But they also can be excellent ways to color our hair. So if you've ever had a little beet juice get on your counter and you know how much you have to scrub to get that out, or same with carrot juice, it can do the same for your hair. It can actually act as a stain or a dye to change the colorant of your hair. So both of these actually work really well. You can do either beets if you just say, hey, I want a little bit more of a more maroon color to the tint, or if you want to get a little bit more of the orangey copper, you can do carrot juice as well. A lot of times I've seen people actually add the two together. So it just depends on what type of results you want, but both can also be great hair dyes naturally for your hair. Not only are you getting that nice color, but you're getting the wonderful, wonderful nutrient benefits of both of those vegetables. Number 3 is sage. So if you're like me, you absolutely love your sage. There's so many amazing uses for sage. But did you know you could actually steep sage as well and get a little colorant from it? So this is another way to just get a nice little color, depending again on what your hair color is naturally. It will pick up a little bit of those tones from the sage. Number 4 is black walnuts. So you can actually use black walnut shells. You'll also do another steeping process from this. You will sift out and get what's the residue left of it, a little bit of the colorant, and you can go ahead and do a wash or rinse with this. A lot of times with this one, it's nice to even add just a little bit of apple cider vinegar to help that color grab onto the hair just a little bit more. But this is another amazing way naturally to get a little color in the hair. Number 5. So number 5 is lemon juice. So this is another amazing one. This one is going to help as more of a natural bleach to help lighten it. So it's funny because it's one thing that we're always telling people when we talk a little bit about essential oils. Anytime you use those citrus oils, just be careful of being in the sun, because that sun is going to be photosensitive. But in your hair, it actually could help to lighten it up just a little bit. So lemon is another excellent one to help if you want more of a bleachy. And again, that does depend a little bit on what your natural hair is originally. So number 6, and the last one we're going to talk about, is henna. So henna is another natural way to color the hair. This one is probably one of your most common ones. It has been used for thousands and thousands of years to help as a dye or a stain for the hair. This one also can be just a bit messy, but it does a wonderful job. It's pretty permanent. So once it's in there, honey. So you gotta be super careful. Make sure you know exactly the colors that you want. The natural henna hue generally is more of a bronzy brown color, but a lot has come about where people have mixed certain things into the henna. So you've got your ebony ones, you got even people have done like more of a blue black with it. You have a regular traditional brown. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with the henna to vary in the color. So that's all I have for you today. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe. Remember, new videos come out every single Wednesday. If you have not already, be sure to check out these playlists right here. We talk a little bit about skincare here, as well as this playlist where you have all of the hair care videos. I would love to see you again every single Wednesday. Comment below some of your things that maybe you've tried, or things that now that you know a little bit more about different natural hair dyes, you're excited to try. And if you try them, let me know how that works for you. Stick around next week where I'm going to go step by step on what I do for a natural hair color, and my hair might be a different color. All right, guys, take care, and I love you so much.